At exactly 2:43 a.m. on May 24, 2025, 3 Ukrainian strike drones tore through the night skies above Russian-occupied Zaporizhia Oblast. Their target lay ahead, one of Russia's most vital logistical lifelines. Running along the Verkhniy Tokmak-Molochansk railway was an 8-car fuel convoy, transporting approximately 560 tons of fuel, enough to keep 2 Russian battalions operational for an entire week. Yet, in under a minute, that precious cargo would be reduced to flames on Ukrainian soil instead of fueling Russian armor. This high-stakes operation involved a fleet of 5 drones, each assigned a specific role in the mission. As shown here, a DJI Mavic 3 was tasked with long-range reconnaissance and target verification, observing from 8 km away. 3 domestically engineered Ukrainian FPV quadcopters were designated for direct strikes. Another DJI Mavic trailed behind as a backup in case the primary recon drone failed. These drones, however, are far from commercial models. The DJI Mavic 3 platforms used for recon are typically enhanced in the field. The original Hasselblad L2 D20C camera comes with a 20-megapixel sensor and 28x hybrid zoom. But firmware mods have pushed the digital zoom as high as 56x. Some versions also come equipped with FLIR Boson thermal imaging cores, allowing nighttime thermal surveillance. Operating at speeds of 68 km/h and capable of flying for up to 46 minutes at elevations reaching 6,000 meters, these drones are formidable scouts. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian-built FPV kamikaze drones are fine-tuned for precision one-way strikes. Each uses 7-inch propellers on 2807 class brushless motors that generate up to 2.5 kg of thrust, managed by F7 flight controllers running custom Bellaflight firmware. These machines can reach terminal dive speeds over 140 km/h and remain remarkably stable upon impact, making them among the most cost-effective offensive UAVs in modern conflict. From a fortified command hub 30 km away, Ukrainian operators monitored incoming thermal feeds as a glowing heat signature emerged against the cold terrain. The Mavic 3's thermal sensor, capable of detecting temperature variations as small as 0.05 dFGC from up to 200 meters, locked onto the fuel-laden train. The recon drone was additionally upgraded to bypass Russian aeroscope detection systems, which typically pick up DJI drones via unencrypted broadcast. Visual and thermal identification of the target was swiftly confirmed, the locomotive's diesel engine radiating a vivid thermal bloom in the dead of night. Real-time thermal visuals were transmitted to the strike team inside the command bunker. Each FPV drone operator received encrypted coordinates and initiated preparations. These one-way drones were likely armed with shaped charge warheads, weighing between 2.6 and 6 kg. Designed for one-time use, the warheads incorporated dual-stage detonation mechanisms and hardened steel tungsten alloy cones, capable of penetrating 22 mm of reinforced steel, easily enough to pierce the 10-15 mm armor plating of standard Russian fuel cars. Once the shaped charge hits, it releases a jet of energy traveling at over 30,000 FD/S, igniting fuel reserves with blast temperatures over 2,500 DCE. A crucial but easily overlooked component of this strike was timing. Ukrainian intelligence had tracked this particular train for 72 hours, relying on a covert network of local civilian spotters equipped with basic smartphones. These partisans, living under occupation and facing death if discovered, identified the train's refueling patterns, typical speed, and the exact 15-minute window when it would be most vulnerable, farthest from Russian air defense range. With the target confirmed via both visual and electronic means, the first operator engaged. His Ukrainian-manufactured drone dove in a shallow angle toward the moving target. These FPV drones use hybrid navigation, encrypted GPS for flight path alignment, switching to terminal phase optical targeting for final guidance. In the last 15 seconds, the drone abandons GPS and relies entirely on visual cues and advanced image recognition algorithms to home in with deadly precision. Algorithms underpin a dual-form strategy designed to boost operational efficiency. While the Mavic drone delivers constant surveillance and target marking from a secure distance, the assault drones execute high-precision strikes with minimal exposure. But landing a direct hit on a moving train is no simple feat. Traveling at about 11 meters per second, the train demands flawless timing and coordination. The attack drone, fitted with a fixed-mount camera and digital stabilization, streams live visuals directly to the operator's headset, enabling constant lock on the target even as the drone weaves through its final trajectory. Still unaware of its fate, the Russian fuel convoy moves steadily along. In just half a minute, it'll be transformed into a massive inferno. At exactly 2:44 a.m., as the first drone begins its terminal plunge, an unanticipated twist emerges. 3 kilometers away, a Russian Leer-3 electronic warfare system powers up. This mobile system, installed on a Kamaz truck platform, is armed with electronic jamming tools designed to disrupt GPS and control links across a 30-kilometer radius. It picks up the distinct signal signature of the drone and begins flooding the area with interference across multiple frequencies, attempting to down the drones or compel them to return, making them vulnerable to artillery fire. Immediately, the Ukrainian operator reports severe interference on the primary channel, with warning alerts appearing across the interface. The Leer-3 crew initiates broadband jamming, blasting high-powered electromagnetic noise across a wide frequency spectrum. When that fails, they escalate to spot jamming, focusing directed energy on the 2.4 GHz band, the same frequency commonly used by commercial UAVs. But Ukrainian forces were ready for this exact challenge. Their drone fleet utilizes frequency-hopping spread spectrum, FHSS, technology, switching frequencies hundreds of times per second within and across bands. This agility makes it nearly impossible for jammers to maintain a lock. Both the Mavic recon platforms and strike drones cycle across 3 independent bands in real time, a setup fine-tuned for electromagnetic warfare zones. Despite the jamming, the Mavic drone keeps relaying intelligence through its smart software, which dynamically scans and shifts to unjammed channels. Its AI-enhanced thermal and visual sensors retain a lock on the target, even as the signal between operator and strike drone flickers. The operator calmly reports a switch to a secondary frequency, while the drone's onboard communication system hops over to its L-band fallback. The data link now disperses the signal across multiple waveforms, altering patterns more than 1,200 times per second, making it extremely difficult for Russian equipment to jam with any consistency. The Leer-3 operators ramp up their tactics. Beyond standard interference, they attempt GPS spoofing, broadcasting fake satellite signals to mislead the drone's navigation system. However, the Ukrainian drones are equipped with sophisticated inertial navigation systems, -INS, which compare incoming GPS coordinates to actual physical motion. Detecting the spoof, the system switches instantly to INS, using internal sensors like gyroscopes and accelerometers to monitor movement with pinpoint accuracy. Impervious to jamming or spoofing, the combination of GPS, image recognition, and inertial guidance ensures the drone stays on course. The pilot notes degraded GPS reception and confirms the switch to inertial mode. Still moving fast despite interference, the drone's onboard visual systems analyze key structural features on the tank cars, applying trained pattern recognition to hold steady targeting. Even as the train rocks and rattles across the rails, the onboard AI has been trained on the specific contours of Russian railway rolling stock, enabling it to identify fuel carriers, compute optimal strike zones, and autonomously execute the attack. No manual input required. The operator announces activation of autonomous attack mode as the drone enters the kill phase. Even though one communication channel is jammed, the Russians can do little else now. At precisely 2:44 and 30 seconds, the Ukrainian attack drone slams into the third car of the fuel train, unleashing devastating results. The 2.66 kg warhead detonates with full force, igniting its volatile cargo in an explosion seen for kilometers. The 6 kg-shaped charge warhead detonates upon impact, with its reinforced tungsten steel core slicing cleanly through the tanker's 12 mm steel shell. Moments later, the secondary incendiary charge ignites the pressurized diesel within. The blast tears through the interior of the fuel car, reaching internal temperatures above 2,500 DEC, instantly turning hundreds of gallons of fuel into vapor and producing a violent shockwave that blows apart the tanker's containment. The strike operator confirms a precise impact on the third car as the thermal bloom rapidly expands on his feed, observed through the DJI Mavic's reconnaissance optics. The car is fully ablaze, with secondary detonations erupting and spreading into neighboring compartments. The train's structure, designed for fluid fuel logistics, is now a fatal flaw. Under battlefield conditions, its shared ventilation system, originally meant to balance pressure during transfers, becomes a fire conduit. Within just 15 seconds, the inferno from the third car ignites fuel vapors in both the second and fourth cars. The Russian train operator engages the emergency brake system, bringing the convoy to a halt, making it a stationary target. With the first hit fully successful and the blaze intensifying, 2 more Ukrainian FPV drones are queued for follow-up strikes. At precisely 2:45 a.m., the second and third drone pilots commence coordinated attack. Now engulfed in flames and immobile, the train is vulnerable. The second pilot locks onto the 6th tanker car, one of the few not yet touched by fire. Approaching from a southeastern vector, he uses the smoke as natural cover, while his drone's thermal optics lock onto the undisturbed cooler surface of the fuel container. The targeting system adjusts for thermal distortion, preserving pinpoint accuracy in a rapidly worsening visual environment. Meanwhile, the DJI Mavic continues overwatch duties, scanning and prioritizing surviving targets using AI-assisted thermal analysis. The platform clearly identifies Car 6 as viable, prompting the pilot to commit. His strike drone enters the attack phase and hits with the same precision as before, piercing the tanker wall and triggering an explosion that consumes another 69 tons of fuel. The new blast merges with the ongoing blaze, resulting in a rolling inferno stretching across 4 continuous cars. Simultaneously, the third operator focuses on the tail end of the convoy. The final 2 tankers remain untouched. But not for long. His drone approaches from the west, targeting the 8th and last car. On contact, the warhead executes the same lethal choreography: armor penetration, fuel detonation, and catastrophic combustion, adding another massive fireball to the escalating destruction. With 3 well-placed strikes, the Ukrainians have now ignited an estimated 560 tons of fuel. The resulting firestorm is so powerful, it generates its own microclimate. The blistering heat fuels violent convection currents that draw oxygen from the surroundings, feeding a plume of fire and smoke that towers over 200 meters into the sky. The railway line beneath is completely destroyed. Steel rails have buckled under the heat, wooden ties have incinerated, and wreckage from the tankers is scattered across the terrain. Repairing this critical logistics artery will take Russian crews weeks, assuming they can operate without falling victim to further Ukrainian drone assaults. And the best part? Every second of it was captured in stunning 4K.